Hello, everyone. This is David Valdez, and this is a short introduction to your unit BBMM605, Entrepreneurship. So as I said, I am your lecturer, and I'm also the Deputy Head of Discipline. So if there's anything you need to ask about the entire course that you're taking, you can call on me. As I said, um, I work with the head of discipline, Narges Abrun, to sort of make sure that all the units within management and marketing are run quite well. You can also contact me via my email, as indicated here on the slide. All right, so today I'll be talking to you a little bit about the unit outline for entrepreneurship, and also your assessments that you need to complete in order to complete the course. And I'll also tell you where the lecture slides are located and also what to expect in terms of the tutorial activities. So you probably know this already, but just in case you don't, all this information is available on Moodle, which is our LMS, or what we call a learning management system. You can access, I'm sure you were given the address, the web address of this Moodle learning management system. It's important to be able to go to Moodle on a daily basis when you're studying, because I often send messages via Moodle, and also to, of course, check your emails as well. Whatever message I send you via Moodle will also be sent to you by email. I am available for consultation, so if you need to meet with me separately, whether if we're still in an online situation, you can call me up and we can arrange a Zoom meeting, or we can do an actual face-to-face meeting if the situation allows us to do so. Most important is you send me an email if you wish to have an appointment with me. And when you send me an email, make sure that you use your student email account for all your communication, because when the school tries to reach you, they will try to reach you by the official medium, which is the school email. And usually, of course, your email will begin with your student number, and the domain name would be cic.edu.au. Okay, so what you need to do, every time we have a class, you should know your schedule, and whether that's a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday, Thursday. But find out the time and the day of your class. And during this situation where we have a COVID-19 crisis, then we'll be doing our classes all via Zoom, which is a computer application which allows us to view the lecturer and your participants in an online session via a video. So at the time of your class time, start of your class time, log in to Moodle, which the address would be hed.ciclms.com. So go into Moodle, look for your unit code. Now, the unit code for this unit is BBMM605, and the name is Entrepreneurship. So you basically go to that particular page, as seen here, and then there's usually a Zoom link which you can click on, and it's usually located right below the discussion forum. And I'll show that to you in a moment. If this is your first time using the Zoom app, you will need to sort of download, which should download automatically on your phone or your laptop. So you need to use that Zoom app, or download the Zoom app itself and use it to join the session. If it's not your first time, if you've done Zoom before, then there's no problem. Just click on the link and you will automatically go into the class session. If you've gone there a little bit early, then maybe I'm not yet there, and you just wait until I come in. But usually I'm there on time, and at the exact time of your class, I will start the class, and you can you can start conversing with me and your other classmates. So every day I will have a set of instructions that I will be giving you at the start of the activity. Um, Note that every day we've got graded online activities for every session. So you need to be aware that you need to be prepared for this, number one. And number two, these online activities are graded. And if you miss them, it's very difficult to take them again. Usually I don't allow students to take the online activity after it's been done. So missing these activities means that you're actually losing marks. After each session, your lecturer will tell you what materials to study from Moodle to prepare for the next session. And the session dates are very clearly marked on Moodle. So for each week, we've got the dates that are indicated there. So as I said, this is what the Zoom link looks like. And this is what your the entrepreneurship page will look like on Moodle. You simply click on that link and you will access the Zoom session. So the Zoom session is live, which means that I will be there and you can ask me questions as time goes on. However, from time to time, you might be viewing a pre-recorded video, but the instructor again will give you instructions about that. When you're joining the Zoom session, it would be good for you to write your name. When you join the Zoom session, usually there's a facility for you to change your name as a participant. There's an icon below. It's called the participants icon. If you click on that, you'll access the names of the students that are participating. And if you see your name, you can actually change the name just to make sure that you indicate your student number before your first name. Okay. So the reason why I need to have that student number is so that when I check attendance, I know the exact student number and I won't make a mistake when I check your attendance. Okay, so very quickly, what do you expect from entrepreneurship? These are the four learning outcomes. The first is we want to understand what entrepreneurship is all about, of course. What's the nature of entrepreneurship and how that relates to business, the economy, and also what are the characteristics of entrepreneurships and entrepreneurs in general. So an entrepreneur is in short, he's a businessman, but he's usually a person that is very passionate about starting a new business by himself and being able to control that business. And it's usually a very innovative person who looks at the business environment and sees if there's anything that can be exploited or can be, if you can, any opportunities that you can take advantage of. So entrepreneurs can also be small businessmen. They start just a small business, but it can also be a big business, like in the case of Elon Musk, who is the entrepreneur behind Tesla, the electric car company that's doing very well these days. So we will teach you how to evaluate a range of tools and procedures and behaviors used in decision-making within startup ventures. We'll apply techniques to generate and develop new ideas that will drive innovation. And lastly, and this is the most important outcome, you will learn how to create, evaluate, and communicate an entrepreneurial business plan for a startup venture. Product or service. So in other words, you're going to have to think of a product or service that you want to launch. Ideally, it is something that is unique in the marketplace, or if not unique, then at the very least you identify that there's an opportunity for you to be able to start this business and become quite successful because of a certain competitive advantage that you have. um, or maybe that the demand for this business is very strong in the market. So you will have to identify that product and create a business plan to ensure that when you start this business, it will be successful in the next 3 to 5 years. So this is just a simulated business plan. We're not saying you're going to actually start a business, but the business plan has got to be as realistic as possible. So here are the assessments on this unit. There are 5 that you need to complete. The first one is the usual week 2 quiz. All our units at CIC have this week 2 quiz. And this is due on Sunday before midnight at the end of week 2. For BBMM605, the coverage will be sessions 1.1 to 2.1. So the lecture topics that will be taken up will be what will be tested for the week 2 quiz. As I mentioned before, there are graded online quizzes. There will be about 8 to 10 graded activities. And you are required to participate using the Zoom session and also take this test via Moodle during this Zoom session. And I'll give you instructions about that. Okay. Then at the end of week 4, we have a midterm test, which is an individual online test submitted through Moodle and Turnitin. Assuming that we are still in a COVID-19 situation where we are doing everything online, then the midterm test will also be held online. However, this test will be invigilated, which means that you are not allowed to bring any notes. You're not supposed to be opening any notes while you're taking the test. The test will be held online, which means you can take it from your home, but it's good for you to be prepared, which means that you need to have a functioning computer. That's our recommended situation. You can take the test via your mobile phone, but it's not recommended because you have to type in a lot of things in it. Okay. The next is an oral presentation. This oral presentation will be the presentation of your business plan. Okay, so you're not going to present the entire business plan, but only the important aspects of this business plan will be required for you to sort of explain in that assessment. That will be a live session as well, a Zoom session, not be recorded. So you have to be able to do a group presentation. Well, the groups here, of course, are just 2 people. So you will have to work with your partner to present your business plan. And then finally, by the way, this oral presentation is done in week 7. All right, so after our last lecture. So these Zoom sessions, you need to be able to upload a PowerPoint presentation at the end of week 6 in time for your actual presentation on week 7. Then at the end of week 7, you'll be required to submit your full written business plan. And the reason why I give a couple of days from the oral presentation to your written presentation or your written submission is so that I can give you some comments during your oral presentation that hopefully you can use to further improve your business plan. So the weighting of that as is seen here. Week 2 quiz is 10%. Your graded online quizzes, there are about 8 to 10 of them. And all of that will total 20%. So usually it'll be about 2% for every quiz. So if you miss one quiz, don't worry too much about it. You're only losing 2%. However, if you keep missing, the more that you miss, then the more it becomes more difficult for you to catch up. Midterm test is 25%. The oral presentation is 20%. And finally, the biggest assessment is your group written assessment, the business plan, which is 25%. In order for you to succeed in this online learning environment, you basically need 5 components. First of all, yourself. You need to be ready. The student itself has got to be prepared for this kind of online environment. It's not easy. You need help from your peers, in other words, your classmates. We will be working in groups. You'll need help from me. I am the instructor. And your instructor is there as a resource. So my biggest suggestion is to keep in touch with me. Make sure you communicate well. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call me or to talk to me. At the end of each class, I'll give an opportunity for you to stay behind and ask me some important questions or clarificatory questions that you need to have. Of course, all the content in this unit is available on Moodle, but you need the technology to be able to access that. So you need to have some technological skills, but it's very minimal skills that you really need. Most important is that you have access to Moodle, and you're able to navigate your way through the content. All right. So again, I'm available for you. You're paying my salary. My intention is to help you do well in this unit. So please take that advantage, take that opportunity, considering that you're paying a lot of money and you should maximize your investment in this. So what makes a successful online student? You need to have very good time management, which means, put it in your schedule. You have a class at whatever time our class starts, whether it's 3:30 or 9 a.m. Make sure you put that in your calendar, and you don't forget that you need to be online at a certain time. Okay, and I can't stress that enough. A lot of students come late to a class, but if you do come late, that means you will miss the quiz, which is usually started at the exact time of the start of the time of the class. You need to have basic technical skills, as mentioned before, basic computer skills, knowing how to save a file, knowing how to upload a file onto Moodle, download a file and read it. So I'm sure these things are not new to you, but again, if there's anything you need, any help that you need in terms of navigating your way through Moodle, or perhaps you don't know how to use a computer, I can help you as much as I can. Or if not, then I can point you to somebody who can help you out. It's important to have a good study environment. As the picture shows here, a nice private space is the best. If you can be blocked out from the noise of your household, I know that's sometimes very difficult if you're living with a roommate or roommates, and they're very noisy. And even now, I'm working from home, and I can hear people in my household talking at the background. I guess that's just part of the new normal. But it's really good if you can find a private place where you can concentrate. And that's really important, that you're able to concentrate while you're taking a class. You should always think of the online class as like your normal class that you have to go to, which means you need to be, you have to be prepared. I always tell my students this, and people find it strange, but try to dress up well, like you would if you were going to an actual face-to-face class. And the reason for that is it helps your mind realize that you have to be focused and concentrated when you're taking a class. Yes, so again, this private study environment is even more important, or the most important is when you are taking a test. And you cannot simply take a test or take an exam if you're at your workplace and you're just using your phone. A lot of students do this. I've seen them actually listen to the class while on a train or while they're working. That's not, I'll allow that. It's not, it's better than nothing, better than not attending. But I will say that during a midterm test or an exam, you should actually be in a place where you can concentrate. Finally, you need to be quite motivated, self-motivated. So in other words, know the reason why you're taking this unit, the reason why you're taking this course. And of course, I'm assuming that most of you are here studying because you want a better future. So if with that in mind, if you know that your better future depends on your education and it depends on how well you're doing in class, hopefully that thought will drive you when you're to attend these classes and to engage in these classes. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you very much. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me.